Hey everyone, it's Todd the Cybertruck Truck Guy, and this is John Cadogan, one of my personal favorite YouTube creators in all things auto-related.
Tesla appears to be doomed in 2021. The seeds of the company's upcoming implosion are germinating now, and resurrection seems unlikely.
But what you say, if he's your favorite YouTube creator, but he also thinks Tesla's doomed, what does that say about him being your favorite YouTube creator about auto content? Well, this video is going to be different from some of my other rebuttal videos in three really important ways. And I'll timestamp where I actually get started. So if you want to skip through this and get right to the actual rebuttal part of my video, you can do that. Point number one, like I said, John is personally one of my favorite creators of auto content on YouTube. And the reason is because as best as I can tell, John is mean to everyone. He's mean to everyone equally all the time. He's very funny about it. If you don't make videos, you won't appreciate, but he obviously puts a lot of time and effort into his scripting, script writing. He has great delivery. Just because somebody disagrees with me on something doesn't mean that I can't appreciate the quality and delivery and capability that they have as far as making videos. Thing number two that makes my response to John's video different. John, he's a worthy adversary. A lot of the rebuttal videos that I've done are against people that didn't take the time or effort or weren't really trying to bring a cohesive argument against Tesla or the Cybertruck. And the other thing is, John doesn't mince words. He comes right out. He tells you where he stands. He draws the line firmly in the sand. That makes it ideal for me to actually create rebuttal videos. And three is, well, hey, just like Batman needs the Joker and Luke Skywalker needed Emperor Palpatine and Bo and Luke Duke needed Boss Hogg, to tell a really good story, you need conflict between two worthy adversaries. And since John has created 5 videos outlining exactly why he thinks Tesla and to some extent the Cybertruck aren't going to be a success, it becomes the perfect background for me to make the counter case. And to make things a little interesting, if John watches this and if he takes me up on this, I'd like to make a friendly wager. Based on the terms he's outlined in this video of Tesla being doomed no later than 2022, I'm prepared to make a bet, $500 to a charity of John's choice if his prediction ends up being true. And what does he have to pay me if I'm right? He has to let me interview him and put the interview on this channel. Now, if he doesn't want to do that and he just wants to give $500 to the charity of my choice, so be it. All in good fun. It'll keep things interesting and keep us invested over the next 2 years to see whose predictions were most right. And with that, let's get into it.
But in today's report, I'm not gonna lie, mounting a frontal assault on the Church of Electric Jesus is rather uplifting.
Just a quick interjection here. John refers to Elon Musk as Electric Jesus, or Jesus as he chooses to call him here. And he obviously is taking a poke at Elon and all of us fanboys in regards to the quasi-religious fervor with which we promote Tesla and all things EV related. So I think it's really funny. I know a lot of people get really offended by it, but again, this is one of the reasons I like John, is it makes me laugh. So I just want to mention that so you know what he's talking about. So from this point forward, instead of addressing this to the general audience of the video, I'm going to be talking straight to John. So we'll see how it works. Hope you enjoy it.
A good way to say sayonara to the worst year that I can remember. When I consider Tesla's future, I'm imbued with joie de vivre, more than I should be, perhaps. I know Tesla's stock is sky high, okay? Higher even than Electric Jesus himself says is reasonable. But the world's leading EV kit car company is doomed, ultimately. At least that's how I see it. And here are the top reasons why. Tesla has had essentially zero competition for 6 or 7 years now, right? Nissan Leaf doesn't count. Hitbox. Next year, however, 2021, just here in Shitsville, three-pronged suppository EQ, whatever launches, 5 or 6 of those, Porsche Taycan, Mazda MX-30, XC40 Recharge and Polestar 2, BMW iX and iX3, Lexus UX300e, Volkswagen ID4, Hyundai Ioniq 5, Kia e-Niro and e-Soul. What a mouthful. These are all proper EVs from proper car makers, in addition to the ones that are on sale now, right? Meaning companies unlike Tesla, which understand actually how to make cars.
John, I have a little advantage on you here. I have actually watched all of the videos in your Tesla is Doomed series, and so I peeked at how this ends. Turns out that your intuition is that ICE vehicles will largely remain the dominant vehicle for a long time to come. Now, if that's the case, then it stands to reason that Tesla has faced competition from its inception from ICE vehicles. In fact, ICE vehicles are Tesla's primary competition. So you can't say that ICE vehicles are going to win while at the same time saying Tesla has no competition. If your belief is that ICE is the superior technology or has a superior cost advantage long term, then it should most have that advantage at this moment. Therefore, the fact that ICE has been competing directly with Tesla, or Tesla with ICE as it were, actually is a reflection of the competition that is coming. In fact, Tesla is the first United States-based auto manufacturer to achieve financial viability and be successful in the last 100 years. Winning any kind of auto contest in the United States as a United States manufacturer is about the toughest set of odds you can give someone. John, when you say Tesla's competition is coming, you're moving the goalposts, because 10, 12, 15 years ago, whenever Tesla started down this line, what people said is an electric vehicle can never successfully compete with top-of-the-line ICE vehicle makers, BMWs, Mercedes, Audi. They'll never be able to disrupt that marketplace. And lo and behold, in the most expensive country to manufacture vehicles, Tesla actually produced a vehicle that knocked off the best of breed in their category. And now, suddenly, since they won that, move the goalposts. There's other competition that's going to beat Tesla. Your position is that ICE is actually the competition that has the advantages. If that's the case, why is Tesla unseating ICE vehicles right now, the best of breed ICE vehicles? Please. Talking philosophy, logical fallacy, you're moving the goalposts.
That's right. Tesla kind of almost knows how to make cars, and they do EV tech pretty well, but the cars and the support are third rate at best. Every Tesla I've ever looked at is about as well finished as a moderate pre-production prototype, you know?
Now, John, that's anecdotal information, and that's also a logical fallacy to use anecdotal information to make a conclusion. But there is good actual objective evidence that Tesla does have build quality issues, and it's not hard to find. Let's assume Tesla indeed does have build quality issues. If that's the case, then why is Tesla able to sell an ever-increasing number of vehicles at a substantial premium over the ICE vehicles that you say have this sort of structural and inherent advantage? Why? That's interesting. You never seem to actually get to that question. Why is Tesla selling cars at a premium that have issues? In fact, why does Tesla have some of the highest brand loyalty out there? But don't take my word for it. Check out this clip from Autoline Daily, a moto industry journalist site, where they cite Experian's actual research on brand loyalty and where Tesla sits.
Tesla has the highest owner loyalty in the business, and that's according to Experian. Over 80% of the people who buy a Tesla go back and buy another one.
I believe you're avoiding these questions either intentionally or just because Tesla's formula irritates your specific criteria for evaluating whether a car is a good vehicle or not.
Viable competition is going to be a new thing for Tesla, and certainly not a positive. You've got to remember, Tesla lacks anything really unique in terms of the underlying tech.
Hey, John, I know you have another video dedicated entirely to this subject, so we'll address this then.
They use the same battery tech and electric tech as everyone else. The only thing Tesla has in the domain of uniqueness is when you buy a Tesla, you're also buying, in a sense, a little piece of electric Jesus, the real world's Tony Stark. I think this is a fundamental motivator for many Tesla owners. They don't necessarily want an EV, they want a Tesla because of what it says about their link to electric Jesus. But clearly, not everyone who wants an EV wants that. Some people just want an electric car. They don't want to sip the Kool-Aid and join the friggin' cult, Maybe most potential EV buyers are like this.
The facts, as they are right now, is that the majority of people that are buying electric vehicles, especially that are buying electric vehicles at a premium, are buying Teslas when they're available. And until you show me actual proof contradictory to that, you're making claims with facts not in evidence. Again, logical fallacy.
So, in any case, there's going to be actual choice of EVs with 400 to 450 k's of range in 2021. That means proper competition. Tesla has never had to operate in a market with actual competition before, and this will place them under immense additional pressure for a change.
The competition they're getting ready to face is nothing like starting from zero when everyone said can't build an electric vehicle, can't compete with ICE, and they had to do it. It was them against the world. You think some Johnny-come-lately electric vehicles are going to have them sweating more than they were when they were trying to figure out if they were going to go bankrupt? Please.
And much positivity is made of Tesla's sales down under, right? Every time someone talks about this, it's all trumpeting. Local EV evangelists trumpet Tesla sales hit 10,000 recently. Yes. In the fine print, of course, it's a 7-year cumulative total, right? The cumulative sales from 2014 to today, 10,000. If you read this evangelist reporting, it continues with statements such as this. Tesla still sits atop the throne. That's from Bridie Schmidt, who's lead reporter for The Driven, which is the sister site of Renew Economy, and she is also the co-organiser of the Northern Rivers Electric Vehicle Forum. I must confess I don't know anything about Ms. Schmidt, but I suspect, given the niche she inhabits in the domain of reporting, she's unlikely to be all that critical of Tesla. Pro-EV reporters tend to offer exclusively pro-EV rhetoric.
John, you do understand the difference between rhetoric and facts, right? Because just because a pro-EV source reports a fact, that doesn't make it rhetoric. That makes it a fact that's been reported by a pro-EV source. You see, the way that facts work, and I know you spend a lot of time talking about facts and how they work and all this other stuff. Well, the funny thing about facts is that you can actually go check them. And see, you can see if something actually is rhetoric, which is just a persuasive argument, or a fact, because that's a piece of data. And so if Tesla is the number one selling EV in Australia or not, you can check it. So you don't have to impugn the credibility of the source as a way of actually invalidating the article. You can actually just say, I discovered in looking at this database, here's what the number is. If it's a fact, it seems to indicate that Tesla, like I said, has the lead. But again, I feel like you're very picky about what facts you want to talk about. Also, for those of you that are playing at home, this is a different kind of logical fallacy. When you attack the source of a fact or an argument instead of the fact or argument itself, it's referred to as an ad hominem. Ad hominem? Ad hominem. Yeah, look it up. Fallacy. Isn't this fun?
Tesla has shipped more than 10,000 electric cars to Australia since 2014 and is still selling double that of all other car makers combined in 2020, new data has revealed. Bridie Schmidt again there. which sounds friggin' awesome, but just for the sake of perspective, okay? Total non-Tesla EV sales for Shitsville for the year to November, 1,589. Last year, same period, 1,432. So that's 11% up off the lowest of low bases, but hardly meteoric.
John, when you say that sales are up by 11% and on a relatively small basis, that's true. But a fact that you're ignoring, and I'm not sure if it's intentional or just an oversight, is that overall vehicle sales are down a substantial amount, something like 10 to 15% worldwide due to the coronavirus. I would guess Australia is no exception. The fact that electric vehicles grew in Australia and in fact everywhere else, while the rest of the world was contracting, says something pretty important about this niche, and that is it's got room to grow. And in a year when it outperformed the regular auto industry by something like 20 or 25%, and where Tesla outperformed the regular auto industry by something on the neighborhood of 40% of sales growth, those are some pretty important statistics to be ignoring when you're trying to tell the truth about both the demand and the growth opportunity for electric vehicles relative to vehicles worldwide.
Non-Tesla market share for EVs is only about 0.2% of all Shitsville new vehicle sales, slightly less than 2 vehicles for every 1,000 sold. So this year, according to shipping data from Vita Prime, Tesla will sell about 3,000 cars in Shitsville, and 90% of those vehicles will be Model 3s. Total EV sales here, including Tesla, is about 6 in every 1,000 cars. So it's kind of hard for me to see even 1% of new car sales in 2021 being battery EVs. Despite the flood of reporting rhetoric and positivity, 99-point-something% of car buyers choose conventional internal combustion cars. EVs are frankly a sideshow commercially. A good way, perhaps, for car makers to virtue signal while at the same time selling big fat diesel SUVs and utes, which are the most popular vehicles here in Shitsville.
Ding, 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 John. You just said something really important. You know how a little while earlier I was saying you should ask yourself, why is it that Tesla can have some build quality issues but still capture such a large percentage of the electric vehicle market, even though people are paying a premium for it? And why is it that I don't think Tesla's that worried about the competition? Because what you just said there about car companies virtue signaling with their electric vehicles, we see that, like consumers, we see that too. And there's a percentage of people, I don't know what it is. I think the last time I saw a poll around it was something like 15%, at least in North America, of people who feel that the number one issue facing us is global climate change. And I know you have a position that buying an electric vehicle isn't really going to be what's going to solve it. It's actually going to be policy changes and massive top-down efforts in order to decarbonize our energy source. And until our politicians get on board, well, there's really not much we can do about it. And maybe that's right, but maybe it's not. And if you're one of those people, of which I'm one, and global warming is something that's very concerning to you, and that's part of what's driving you to be interested in purchasing an electric vehicle, then from my perspective, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense for me to spend my money on an electric vehicle made by a company of which 99 or 99.5% of all the vehicles that it makes, they make 0.5% or 0.25% electric vehicles. Now, maybe my voice, my vote, maybe it doesn't matter. But collectively, when a lot of people make a decision and they vote with their dollars and they choose winners, part of the winner that they're choosing in the electric vehicle space, a big part, are people that are choosing to say, I want to do what I can to make a difference here. And the funny thing is that while you're probably true about any one person purchasing an electric vehicle not making a big difference, here's the reality. Where I live in the state of Kansas, and over the last 10 years, our electricity has gone from being about 90% fossil fuel based to over 50% renewable. Kansas happens to be in what they call the Saudi Arabia of wind. And I can tell you for sure that every internal combustion vehicle will never be able to fuel itself with renewables. But as renewables grow, more and more of what charges our electric vehicles will be renewables. There's also a virtuous cycle here. When people vote with their dollars to support the companies that are making hard commitments to go 100% electric, it actually forces the other companies to make a decision. And perhaps it is just virtue signaling, and perhaps there is no real long-term advantage. But what other option do I have? I only have one tool, one stick I can beat the market with. And that stick is to put my money in a company that's burned the bridge to running their vehicles with fossil fuel. So yeah, I'll put up with a door that doesn't latch right or a little gap in the back of a trunk because I want to send a message. And I'm not alone. And that's something you should think about. It's not about Elon. It's about the mission. Now, Elon was insightful and he could see what needed to be done. But that's not why I'm supporting Tesla. And that's not why I want the Cybertruck. And it's not 100% of the reason why, but all things being even, if I'm going to buy an electric vehicle, I want to buy it from a company that's committed to the future that I want. That's important. Well, John, I think that's it for now. Made it about halfway through your first video. I'm not sure if you're having fun, but I sure am. I'm not sure if I'll just keep following the progression of the videos itself, or I might jump around. I will try and be fair and use facts and data and logic in order to justify my opinion. And I would say the bet's real. It definitely stands. And personally, I'd love to have the chance to interview you someday. For the rest of you, that's it. Hope you like and subscribe and comment and do all that other stuff. Other than that, we'll catch you next time. Bye.